Here's one last walkthrough of brilliant books before everything gets taken off the shelves, period. This is not a professional video that's going to highlight parts of the store. It literally is just me walking through, having a nostalgia moment. And here we are. Remember those incredibly heavy doors? And this is what was staff picks and our bestsellers section. It was always the policy of the store to have at least 2 copies of every single book on the top 30. And that was the hardcovers, paperbacks, fiction, and non-fiction. Here's the local shelves, where Aaron Stander was in our top 10 for many, many, many years with his wonderful Leelanor series. And of course, our fabulous new table, filled with all the best new literature and new fiction, hardcover, paperback. And one thing that was always important to us is this was genuinely a new table. No books that weren't more than a few weeks old were ever on there. Books would appear and books would come off after a few weeks. They all got 4 or 5 weeks. And this is the non-fiction section. Again, new and nothing that isn't new. Our famous mugs. And the aisles that people love to wander down. Here we have a fiction section that used to be full. There used to be a rule here that you couldn't have more than 2 faces on a shelf. And now as our stock has diminished, there's an awful lot of those. But let's keep wandering through on our trip down memory lane. Time was when horror was packed. And here's our fabulous little pen case. We had a lot of fun with some really posh pens, and I'm glad we could provide those to the people in TC. Note cards, we used to get through a lot of those. And here's the famous literature section, probably my favorite section in the whole store. We had, at the peak of our curated selections, we had a tremendous literature section, even though I say so myself. And here's the big open space in the middle of the store. Everybody can get their bearings. Our games and our jigsaws. And our famous cards. People said we had one of the best card selections in Traverse City. We were honoured by that. And here we go down into non-fiction. There's fantasy and sci-fi on the left, non-fiction on the right. Then we have business and psychology on the left, religion and cooking on the right. Our famous train table and our beautiful kids section. This looks well stocked, even with things starting to move. Here's manga and young adult. Our wonderful t-shirts from Out of Print. And our new releases for sci-fi and fantasy. And again, those were always genuinely new releases. And here's our non-fiction. These signs, by the way, are for sale if anybody wants to have them. They're big magnetic signs, basically giant fridge magnets. They'd sit on the side of your car. But yes, remember when all these displays and shelves were very full. Oh, and here we have the little golden books and the who was, who is. People always used to hide the ones that politically they did not agree with, which was very sad. And here is the rest of the famous kids section. This is middle grade. And on the right are our picture books. And on the left, this is chapter books and graphic novels. I love the different stickers and logos we have there. You probably noticed Winnie the Pooh out there. Those big wall clings were originally part of our first setup in the store, to designate that this was really a kids section. This is the counter where Miss Rachel used to sit and recommend books to people. And all of this arrangement is courtesy of Rachel. She redid the entire children's section. There you saw some furniture that we're getting rid of. This is our receiving room. And this also is a piece that's for sale, our wonderful mail centre. That's it for the tour. I hope that brought some nostalgia to you. Thank you for your support over the years. It was always most appreciated.